There we go. We're doing
Okay,
it.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Odd Cherry What the What Diamond podcast on Kelly Zoom. We couldn't do it live on Facebook Live, so we have to do it this way.
Exactly.
Thank
Technology
you,
is great.
technology, for screwing up this world as it is.
No, no.
So this is podcast number 13, ladies and gentlemen, and today I have a very special guest. A very special guest. She's all the way up from Canada. Now, where about the Canada are you living there, Kelly?
I live in Toronto.
Toronto, okay.
Yeah.
Now, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I keep screwing people's names up for crying out. I even screw my name up from time to time.
I have also screwed my name up. Um, but my name is pronounced Zemnickis. Zemnickis.
Zemnickis, okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kelly Zemnickis.
There we go. You did it.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for being on the podcast today.
No problem.
This is, I wanted you on for quite a while, and because you do so many different things in comedy, and not only in Canada, but all over the place.
I
And I
do.
admire you, what you do. You have a lot of spunk, and you do so many things, and you inspired me a lot to do what I do today in comedy, like do as well as my podcast, stuff like that. So thank you for
Awesome.
that.
Oh, well,
Thank you for that.
thank you for the
So
compliment. That's nice.
well, you're welcome. Listen, I see it. I say it as I see it. You know what I'm saying? I say it as I see it, and I see so many brilliant comedians out there doing so many good things, and so many out there doing it,
Yeah.
and I'm happy for that. 'Cause I've been doing my own thing too. From time
Yeah.
to time, but I always been busy to my personal life, taking care of my dad. He had health issues. He had like
Yeah.
he had five surgeries, major surgeries in the last 2 years. He had three hip
Whoa.
surgeries. He had three hip surgeries in 1 year on the same side. And then he's had his second surgery on the inside of his nose. He had cancer cells in there. So
Oh,
like a
man.
year or so ago, he had a big growth in his nose that
Yeah.
had cancer in it, and they removed it. The doctor did it, removed it, and he thought he got it all, but he apparently he didn't. He moved up to Ohio. He lives in Ohio now, so he had to get a different doctor, and they checked
Oh,
him out and found that the
shoot.
growth had came back. So he just last Friday he had a surgery on his nose again, and thank God it was a success. But
Yeah.
then
Oh, that's good.
then a couple of days later he got clumsy and fell flat on his face because all he wanted to do was get ice cream, which I don't understand that because I already got him ice pop before I left that day, and
Right.
I'm not even going on even an hour. And
Yeah.
he fall flat on his face. As a matter of fact, I was getting ready to do a podcast with Jeremy Wagner when this
Okay.
happened. I had to cancel that. So today I'm doing a double podcast. You today at noon, and then Jeremy Wagner at 4 o'clock today. So double the podcast, double the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
I appreciate you taking the time today. I know you're a very busy woman.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
doing the no, you do it. I've seen what you do. I
I do
watched
a
you.
lot.
I've been on your show. You got it going. You're very busy. You and Desiree been working
Yeah.
together, I think, and I think that's wonderful. She's the one
Yeah.
I had her on my podcast a couple weeks ago, and she was tremendous. We had a great time,
Yeah.
and she had
No,
the same
Des is
problem as
great.
you couldn't get out there. Had to do it a different way. She recorded it, and it was okay. It worked out.
Yeah.
I always got a backup plan for these things.
You
So
always have to have a backup plan these days.
exactly. So I
Yeah.
might have to just break down, do it, and get into a Zoom account, which I don't really want to do, but if I have to, because lately I've been having trouble getting people on my Zooms. Well, like far
Oh,
away, like where you are, it's been crazy. But locally in the area where I'm at,
yeah.
I don't have any problems. I Smith on my podcast, which he's able to get on, and then
Yeah.
other comedians, and they were able to get on. So
Eh.
hopefully I can get Jeremy Wagner on today. No problems. We'll see how that goes. We live in this crazy time because
Yeah.
computers and everything have been so out of whack. All these, now the AI getting involved, trying to break into
Right.
comedy, and
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. I don't.
Yeah.
I always hate changes in life. I always think because I was born in '69. I remember the
Okay.
'70s. How great they were,
Yeah.
and they were simple times. Everybody was friendly. We help each other out. But today you can't do that. It's just so weird in the world we're living in.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. It breaks my
Yeah.
heart. You
Yeah.
know.
No.
So,
Social
but
media
tell
is
everybody a little
certainly.
bit about tell
Yeah.
everybody a little bit about yourself, Kelly.
Oh, sure. Well, what I was gonna say was, I do agree with you. Like, I'm a '70s kid, and
Yep.
we've
It was
seen like
wonderful, wasn't it? It was
what's that?
wonderful. It was wonderful.
I mean, yeah, I was born towards the end of the '70s, so my core memories are
Okay.
more '80s based. But we've seen so many changes in technology.
Hmm.
You've got a few years on me, but like our generation has seen so many changes in everything. And I do subscribe to the theory that social media has made things so much more less social.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such an oxymoron, I guess. But
It,
that being
it,
said,
it is. Yeah.
kid of the 70s, born in Montreal, Quebec. Um, I speak English and French. I'm 5'3".
Oh,
Those are the nuts and
wow.
bolts.
I did not know that. That's cool. That's good.
I
That's
wish I
good.
knew more languages. I've got a cousin who works for the UN who speaks like 8 languages, and I wish my brain worked like that. It does not.
I'm like you do English for God's sake.
I know. English, like English, I spoke at home, but I did not speak with my friends and at school when I was a kid.
Hmm.
So I found it, and I think most people who learn English will agree, it's a really tricky language to pick up
It is.
because of
It is.
the differences of words that sound so similar. And, you know, there's hiccups to sort of any language you speak, but English
Yeah.
can be really tricky,
Oh
really
yeah.
tricky.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, I have a disability. I have a list, but I never talked about it.
Okay.
But I will.
Yeah.
I'm working on my app. I have a list. But when I was younger, I used to be a stutter. I used to stutter a lot when I was a kid
Yeah.
growing up, and
Yeah.
that was hard too. And then it broke out. That probably now I have a list now. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
I live with that now. It's like it was even hard working in retail because people didn't understand what I was saying because of the way I talk. So I had to
Right.
repeat it again, many times because my S's get all mixed up. Man. I have a
Yeah,
hard time with my S's.
my youngest brother has a stutter, and
Yep.
he went for like different courses and therapies to sort of help with it. He now
Yep.
works for a big bank and does a lot of corporate
Good for
speaking,
him.
and he's found a way to work with it. Yeah, I can I sometimes, when I see people doing sets and impersonating somebody with a stutter, I
Yeah.
kind of bristle a little bit because someone close to me actually has
Right.
that. I think when you actually have a thing, your permission, quote unquote, to make fun of it is completely different to mine as
Oh
someone
yeah.
who does not have
Yeah,
a
I
stutter.
make fun of it all the time. I haven't done it. Like I said, I'm working on into
Yeah.
my script and everything. So, I'm doing that. I've been trying to figure out how to fit that into my routine. It's
Yeah.
almost there. It's almost there.
Yeah.
But, I
Yeah.
was embarrassed by being a stutterer all my life. I was always embarrassed about it. I didn't like to talk much. Like, especially when you have in English class, you want you to read and everything. Oh my God, that was the worst time of my life reading. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I was
Yeah.
like, please don't. I was like, I'd be in a class of like 27, 28 kids, and we got to take turns reading. I was like, oh, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me my turn yet. Wait till tomorrow. I would keep saying, wait till tomorrow. And then when tomorrow came, oh, please wait for tomorrow again. And then Jerry, you're next.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Whereas I was the kid always jumping up to do that, right? Where my brother was like, no, just
Yeah,
complete
I feel
opposite.
the same.
Yeah.
I was the same way. Please don't pick me. I like to read. I want to
Yeah.
read.
Anytime I could talk in front of the class, I was like, let me present something.
Well, that's good. Well,
I've always loved talking. I'm better talking, even to this day, the more people I have to talk to, the better. The less
yeah.
people I have to talk to, the anxiety goes up. I don't have a stutter, but I've had panic attacks since I was about 9 years old. So,
Oh, no kidding. No,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, see, I hated talking in public, and I was like, I remember what was it? It was Mother's Day. I was in
Mhm.
first grade. We were doing Mother's Day. We had to do a
Yeah.
presentation in front of our parents. Oh my God, I had the letter O in mother. It went so horrifying. It was so bad, I had pee in my pants on stage. I was like, is he okay
Jerry,
over there?
Jerry, I peed my pants 3 times on Friday. Because
We
I
all
tease
done it,
now.
it's a thing. It happens. I
I
even crap
tease
my
now.
pants
I
while I'm
pee when I
driving, for God's
sneeze.
sake. Who does that? You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
ridiculous. It happens. It happens. It's part of
Aging
life.
is great. Aging is
It is.
great.
It
Yeah.
is. And the thing was like, I like talking in front of people. I love, but I love doing it now. But when I was younger, I hated doing it. But now I love doing it now.
Yeah.
My thing was also stage fright as a kid growing up. It lingered all the way to my adult years. And then I think it took me after my second marriage, to break
Okay.
into comedy.
Okay. All right.
It
Well,
was
we
weird
all.
because it was weird because I always wanted to be a comedian all my life. I didn't know how to go about it. I thought to be knowing somebody in the business or be born
Yeah.
in the business, stuff like that. But I realized later on, with technology today, I realized you have to do that. So wow, okay. where the hell was technology back when I was a kid?
Yeah.
It was crazy because we went
Yeah.
from using tin cans with a string, calling our friends to one of them phones there with a string on there, playing jump rope on. To
Yeah.
like we went to like handheld phones,
Yeah.
walk away phones. You can walk so far in your house, and then we went to cell phones, beepers,
Yeah.
and then cell phones. My first cell phone was a track phone, and it was
Okay.
weird.
I
Okay,
still have my first cell phone.
when they first came out, was a track phone I had, and you had
Okay.
to get minutes. You had to pay for minutes on there. You had to pay for
Yeah.
the minutes on there, and oh my god, it was crazy. Like, oh my, and if you lose long distance calls, you eat your minutes up faster
No, I know.
compared to local calls. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I still
But
have
now,
my first
now,
cell phone.
now I got unlimited stuff. Now it's like, hey,
Yeah.
welcome to the 2000s.
Yeah.
So now you produce a lot of shows. You do the Thursday night shows.
Yep.
You also do it it's on Thursday night at 10 o'clock, and you
Yeah.
also do another show. It's called the Mutual Mic on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I do. So like comedy wise, I have taken what I experienced at the height of the pandemic and doing so much stuff virtually, and I've really merged um both facets of my life of being in a brick and mortar space and being online and just you may as well use all the tools that you've got, right? So um I run some virtual mics during the week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like you mentioned, and then
Yep,
show wise on Friday nights, excuse me, with KO Comedy, which streams on Twitch
yep.
through Comedy Hub. Have a
Yeah,
show on Friday nights.
I've been there a couple of times. Yep,
Yeah,
it's
Friday
fun
nights
time.
with Desiree, and then I do a lot of stuff virtually just because I I realize that, and I think with some comics who tried doing this once and did not care for it, I think if you approach this the same way that you approach walking on a stage, putting your glass down, grabbing the mic, it's a different beast
It is.
all together.
It
It's a
is.
variation on the theme. It is not the same. And I really try to tell people just use this as a space to work on your writing. It's more of a writing tool than it is so much as a performance tool. Although, if you're lucky enough to do something like, let's say, The Tonight Show, this is really good training because you're looking at the camera.
Right.
And so it's
That's
got
my
some.
goal. Trying to get on a Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. That's my goal.
Well,
That's my
exactly,
goal.
right? So yeah, I try to make I'm using all the tools that I've got. So I do a lot of stuff online and I do a lot of stuff in person.
It's fun too. Not only it's
So,
fun, but it's a learning experience.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
when the pandemic first hit, I mean, everybody was like, "How are we going to do comedy? We can't do comedy right live audience or anything like that." And then I don't know who came out with the first Zoom. I can't remember, but
I can't either. Like, if folks watching are even at all curious about watching a Zoom show, Displaced Comedians is a group on Facebook where
yeah,
I got to experience more stuff. For me, I don't know about you, Jerry, but for me, my first introduction to virtual comedy was maybe about 3 weeks after the city of Toronto went into lockdown in May of 2020. A club in New York, West Side Comedy Club, had a post saying that they were going to try a Zoom mic. And I happened to see it just by accident. And I clicked on it. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I need to tell jokes to somebody. And that was my first experience. So I was about, I'd say 3 weeks into lockdown that I did this for the first time. And I was like, this is weird, but it's giving me an opportunity to tell jokes and people are listening. So I will
right.
do this again. So
Well,
yeah.
mine was 3 weeks after the pandemic too, and where I
Okay.
live, a place called 518 Area Comedians, Albany, New York,
Mm,
and where they list were the place to do comedy. So
yeah.
somebody in that group did the first Zoom comedy Zoom,
Okay,
and that's
cool.
it. So that's the first comedy Zoom they ever did.
Yeah.
And then they found how do you get, and I see there's other links to get into comedy. So I got into like the oldie mics. I got into with A-Rod's mic, your mics,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
right along. And
Yeah.
I find it fascinating because it helps me out to become a better comedian, to write jokes and write and it gives you
It's a
more
wonder. It's a wonderful tool. Like, I've been nursing a pretty nasty cold this week, and I've been able to do mics without going to any place and getting someone sick. So
That's the
that's
best thing about it. You
helpful,
don't feel good, you can do it right at home,
you know. And if you've got mobility issues, I mean, this is such a wonderful gift. And like I was going to say, like, not only do I do shows this way, but I also do stuff in VR. And so I do stand up as an avatar with a comedy club that was created with guys from Montreal called Unknown Theater. And that is the most fun experience.
That's good.
I love, I was a big, I still am. I was as a kid a big fan of a movie called Tron, which came out in 1982.
Yeah,
And to me, that is like going in the mainframe and I
yeah.
become Tron and it's so cool.
I seen that movie. I like that. That was a really
I
good
love
movie.
Tron.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But the thing now, how many years have you been doing stand up?
I was 10 years this January.
Wow, so I got 3.5 years ahead of
Yeah.
you. I've
Yeah.
been doing 13.5 years now.
Yeah.
What got you into comedy?
I have a story that I always sort of I think a lot of people, like you mentioned, yours was the product of a relationship falling apart. Um, for me, it was cancer was the
Ah,
push. Not my having. I've been years since have had a couple of dances with cancer, but it was losing the love of my life to cancer. And
I'm sorry.
yeah, thank you. Very, very unusual tale, I guess, in some ways, but it was his getting sick that I should preface by saying in the 1990s in Toronto when I was a teenager, I was a technician at comedy clubs and I was setting up the lights and the sound. I've always been a kid that loves technology and how things go together and all that. Um, so yeah, so I worked at clubs as best I could, 18 or so doing that. And I started to get a voice in my head saying, "Why aren't you on stage?" And I ignored it for a very, very, very long time because I didn't think anybody needed me telling jokes. I was like, that looks
Right.
scary. I'm not ever going to do that. Why would I do that? And it was when James got really sick. And I remember after what ended up being our final phone call, I had my very first light bulb moment. And I got off the phone and I was like, go do every single thing you have ever dreamed of doing because you are still alive
Yep.
and he's probably not going to get better. He was in hospice about a month after that call. He died 2 months later.
I'm so sorry.
Um, yeah. And we hadn't been we weren't a couple at the time. We hadn't been for years, but he was my person. He was somebody who came into my life who was my
Your
person.
best friend. He was your
Yeah.
best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
And
Yeah.
he left me with an incredible gift of listen to that inner voice that is telling you you need to go do this.
Hmm.
And he always believed in me way more than I really have ever believed in myself. So
Right.
yeah, it was because of that. It was because of that. And I wonder sometimes like for those of us who have lost people like and have had a change in their life because of it. I've wondered like if he had gotten better, would I be talking to you right now? I have no idea.
Right. No. We don't. The thing is, about the future, we don't know what the future holds for any
Yeah.
of us. I never thought. I guess for many years as a kid growing up, I always wanted to be a comedian. I was always funny. I mean,
Yeah.
my laughter has been my best gift apparently.
Yeah.
Because
Good
in,
luck.
in fifth in fifth grade, well, you heard my laugh. I got
Yeah,
that David
absolutely.
Letterman laugh. It's the laughter that spreads along with my what the what theme.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the thing was, I was in fifth grade, and every year they gave out at the end of the year they gave out awards for your accomplishments. Like the best speller or best,
Okay. Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
achievements. And the first time that's the first day I ever get an award for best sense of humor, which I never heard that before. I thought it was kind of weird. And
Hmm.
the thing was, there was this kid in my class. he was funny as hell. He always told jokes, but not a lot of people got his jokes like I did, you know. And I
Yeah.
left that as joke. I thought personally they were funny. The others did, but didn't think they were funny. So at the end of the year, they're giving. I'm thinking, all right, this kid's gonna get the award because he's got a great. He's funny as hell. He's got a sense of
Yeah.
humor. He's
Yeah.
got jokes.
Yeah.
The award went to me. Went to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I didn't tell any jokes. I just laughed a lot, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing, my
Yeah.
teacher goes, the reason why I got that award because I have a best sense of humor. I
Right.
laugh about anything, no matter what's funny or not. And I took life as funny as a great sense of humor, you know, as they
Yeah.
put it,
Yeah.
which I never knew I had. I thought it was just a dorky fifth grader, you know, a nerdy fifth grader, you know,
Yeah.
without the glasses and suspenders like Urkel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but I took a lot of things because my personal life has been a train wreck since I was a kid. Like my real mother left me when I was a year old, and my brother was 6 months. Yeah, she treated her apron string for a G string. She left with the bear.
Oh,
And then I didn't know I had a stepmother until I was 11 years old. My stepmother raised me since I was 3 years old.
okay.
And the story I heard from her that later on in life that she was 1 month away from graduating high school, 1 month away, and she quit to help raise my brother and I. Yeah.
Wow.
So when I graduated back in
Wow.
1980, I know it's a powerful story, isn't it? So when I graduated back in 1988,
Okay.
I told my mom she should go back to school. She
Yeah.
started working in nursing homes and everything, and nurses aid and stuff like that. And she went back to school,
Yeah.
and I pushed her on. I cheered for her the whole time, and
Yeah.
she graduated like 10 years later after I graduated. She graduated like 10 years after I graduated. And
Oh,
yeah, so I threw
wow.
her. She threw me a big party when I graduated. I'm the only one out of my five brother siblings that has graduated high school. The rest of them all dropped out.
Wow.
They were fighters and lovers. They were out fighting and looking for love in all the wrong places. They dropped out between 10th grade and 11th grade. I went all the way through. I know
Oh,
it's crazy, isn't it? Out of all
wow.
my siblings, I have graduated. I was one of them. And I went to college for 1 year to learn to be a computer tech, and that went down the toilet. I went one
Wow.
year for that. So yeah, I was born as a farmer all my life, and then I got out of farming and went into working in warehouses,
Yeah. Yeah.
dealing with people.
Oh,
And that was
wow.
scary because I never dealt with people. I always dealt with animals all the time my whole life, and I'm dealt with people, like
Yeah.
many people.
I prefer
And I did
animals.
that, and
I prefer animals.
apparently that's where my sense of humor kicked in. And
Yeah.
many people
Yeah.
I tell jokes, and I don't even know I'm telling jokes. I'm telling funny stories, you know.
Right. Right.
And they're like,
Huh.
"Oh, you
Okay.
should be a comedian." And I worked in retail for about 18 years, Kelly. 18
Okay.
years.
I did some
I
time
worked
in
in grocery
retail.
stores. I worked in grocery stores and all retail stores, even convenience
Yeah.
stores
Yeah.
for 18 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And every job I had, people love my sense of humor. They're, oh, you should be a comedian. You're funny as how you should.
Yeah.
Again, I was stage fright. I didn't want no part of that. I just like tell stories,
Huh.
tell jokes. They were funny, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have my way of dealing with people, my own humorous way of dealing with people. Stupid
Yeah.
people, by the way. I mean, I deal with a lot of stupid people. So I
Yeah.
react to their side, you know, like,
Yeah.
he said that, you
Yeah.
know? And they ask stupid questions like, is there a return policy on this? Yes, 15 days. Would. Because electronics, you know?
Yeah.
Hello? Do you know how to work this? I said, look for the on button on there. And people would just tune in to what I was saying, dealing with people. And they're like, wow, you have a way with people, way with words, don't you, Jared? I said, well, I guess so. I don't know. You don't know
Yeah.
these things. And so for the last 18 years, people were edging me on, go do comedy. You are funny. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
So after my second divorce, for the love of my life, I had in school. I chased her for many years, but I
Yeah.
finally got her for my second marriage. And I only lasted like 7 years because she turned out to be a nightmare. So I know I was there. So
Okay.
so I came with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which I didn't know at the time. So I had to go to
Yeah.
this hospital up in Albany. And across from the hospital was the Comedy Works. Never knew it was
Oh,
there.
no way. The club was
Yeah,
across
years
from
ago,
a hospital?
Comedy Works right there. Now, years ago, it used to
Wow.
be in a different area. It used to be in a hotel downtown Albany. And they moved up. They had a big building up there.
Yeah.
So I had a late click, like you had your late click in. Jerry, do this. This is your time. Now here I am in my 40s,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
And I'm
Yeah, I
thinking,
was how old was I? 36 the first time I did stand up, 37. Yeah.
and I said, now I'm too old for
Seriously.
this. I'm in my 40s. It's too late for me. I should have done this when I was a teenager. But
Yeah.
then I read about Ronnie Dangerfield and Phyllis Dillard. They started late in their career, and they are very successful. I
Yeah.
said, well, if they can do it, so can I. You know?
There's something to it. I mean, I, I look at people I perform with who are in their teens or their 20s, even
Yeah.
people in their 30s,
Yeah.
like younger 30s. And I really marvel at the ability to harness, uh, you know, what your voice is, what your persona is. I think there's
Right.
something to it though when we're a bit older and we've got a few more miles under our belt.
Well,
Um,
to my
it
end, the
yeah,
formula is when you
mm,
get older, you experience a lot more than you have when you're younger. So you've got a lot more material to
absolutely.
process.
Yeah, absolutely. But also kind of ingenious to put a comedy club across from a hospital.
I know. That's
Not
the
a
where people
bad
go when they fall.
idea.
Is this where the people go and they tell bad jokes, they fall down and break your hip or something, they come to the hospital?
I mean, think of how you feel sometimes after some sets. A hospital nearby is not a bad idea.
No, it's not because if you fall down and break your head, you get right across the room. And the funny thing about that is, Kelly, is that we've had nurses come to the Comedy Works to do comedy. And then right across from where the Comedy Works was a TV station, which is still there, a news TV station.
Oh, wow.
They
Okay.
would have their cameramen come down and tell jokes from time to time. I
Oh,
mean, wow, it was really really cool. But the
yeah.
thing, when I saw that, I said, okay, I always wanted to do this. Should I do this now? Is it too late? And
Yeah,
I went home and I thought about this, and thank God again for technology because you can go on there and look things up.
for sure. Yeah.
So I looked up the Comedy Works to see what I had to do to get into this club. There's the last sign up for the fall class to
Mm.
do sign up. Bill Keller was the writer. He wrote for David Letterman, Jay Leno. He was the writer
Oh,
for that class.
yeah.
He was there for quite a while. So I
Wow.
said
Okay.
it was like $300.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. Is it worth $300 for me to go out there and try something and fail
Yeah.
miserably? You know? So I took a chance on it. I took a
Yeah.
chance on it. And here I am, 13 and a half years later doing this.
That's
And
awesome.
Bill Keller told me everything. He was a great. And there's other comedians that go back there from time to time to freshen up their writing with him, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the best thing about
Great.
doing this because like a lot of Zoom down feedback. So you can do your set, and then they give you 2 minutes of feedback. The
Yeah.
A-Rod, has two shows that does that. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that because I used to go to the Comedy Works where other comedians would have a writing session. We would go there, write, and talk about, and it helps out a lot. It really does. This has helped out quite a bit out of 13 years. I mean,
Yeah.
comedy has come a long ways. And in Albany, New York, where I live, comedy was not a really big scene back in the day. It was just the
Yeah.
Comedy Works was there. And then now we get the Funny Bones at Crossgates Mall,
Right.
and there's more comedy than ever in upstate New
It
York.
really is. Yeah. Yeah.
But then that's what I love about that, and the people are wonderful, and a lot of young comedians out there doing their stuff. Some are okay, some are still working on, it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It happens. I just saw a comedian one take go on stage for 30 minutes. She was high and drunk, and what did I sign up for? I don't know what I'm doing up here. 30 seconds later, she got off stage.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
But I took the class, and I was fascinated because 15 people signed up for this class. Okay, and
Okay.
Bill Keller said at the end of your 7 weeks of this class, there's one day a week, there'll be maybe about 13, between 10 to 13 people graduate in this class. I said, no, these all here, they're all in for day all on. You spent $300. Who's going to want to throw that away?
Right.
And I was surprised about 12 comedians, including myself, has
Yeah.
graduated in that class. I
Yeah.
was surprised.
Yeah.
And I did my first show. After I graduated, a
Yeah.
week later, I did my first show in my area in the theater. That's been running down for many years. They've been working on it, getting it going again. It's doing really good
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
put a show on. It was me and another comedian had graduated. His name was Pete. He's no longer on he didn't last very long in the same. So everybody who knew me in my area, in my town, filled the place. It seemed like 150. It was
Wow.
full,
Yeah.
full. And I raised the money for that theater because they needed more money. They got screwed out of money years ago. So I was trying to help my community back. So the payback for what I did, I put my earnings into that theater. And it was a success. I did a whole hour, Kelly. This other guy was late getting there. We were supposed to do like 20 minutes each, 20, 25 minutes each.
Yeah.
He didn't show up until towards the end. I did a whole hour by myself. I was impressed with
Wow.
myself.
Oh my
That's the first
gosh.
time I ever did an hour show. I just graduating from the Comedy Works by
Wow.
myself.
Okay. Wow. That's
Is that
crazy.
crazy or what?
That's crazy. Wow.
Then he shows up like towards the end. He did a 15-minute set, and people were leaving the theater because this set was so bad. Like, oh my god! And then they got the reviews like, Jerry, you were funny, you were hilarious, you did great. You could have probably did that an hour. No, no, 1 hour was enough. You probably could have. You could have your own sitcom. You can have your own show.
Yeah.
No, you can
That's
be an
wild.
HBO special. No, 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 we're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it
That's
was it
crazy.
was fun. I
Yeah.
had a great time, and it was experience I'll never forget in my life. And
Yeah.
I wasn't even prepared to do an hour, but somehow in my mind, I did a whole hour. And it was funny. And it was so weird because I never did that before, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, again, you have all these years experience growing up and you go through so many crazy stuff in your life that you put into your act. I mean, I got a
Yeah.
lot more crazy stories to tell you people. Oh my God, it's crazy,
Yeah.
and it's funny. To me, it's funny. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's funny.
Yeah. No, it's
Now,
yeah.
have you ever bombed in your career?
Never. I have Jerry. Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know.
Oh my gosh. I so have.
When was the first time you bombed?
I think my first bomb was my third set. I think it
Really?
was the third time I did stand up. It went, I I was lucky. I was someone who did it for the first time and it went reasonably well. Like it was, I got some laughs. I got enough of that dopamine hit to do it again. Um, but I think it was the third time I took to the stage. I was so frustrated by everything. I sighed very audibly at the end of my set, and that got the biggest laugh, was my sigh. And
Wow.
I cried so hard. I ran off the stage directly to the washrooms.
Oh, no.
And yeah, I was just like, oh my God. And then I was talking to uh, a former employer of mine who remains a friend, and he said, "Well, just go do it again tonight." And it was the probably one of the best pieces of advice I could have received. Of like, okay, well, just go do it again, and
That's
that's
funny you
what you
said
have to
that. 'Cause
do.
my worst was the third time I performed was the worst I ever did. Oh,
Yeah,
I bombed so bad. I said, I'm never doing this again. I'm never. And then there's another comedian that I've known that would get rides to back and forth to the clubs and everything. He said, Jerry, I remember when he bombed the first time at the Comedy Works because they used to have a competition that if you had a best set at the end of during the week of your writing, that
yeah,
you get to perform that weekend at the Comedy Works to open up for somebody.
oh,
And this guy was funny.
yeah,
And he went on stage that night. And he was so bad, Kelly, that you could no one laughed at all. They didn't say a word. You could hear crickets in the
yeah,
building for
yeah.
God's
I've
sake.
done that set.
Now
I've
I
done
have too,
that
but he reminded me of that. I was like, okay. He got back up. He did it, and he did an album out. He's doing really good. He got a family. I mean, he's doing sensational. He moved down to New York City. He's got
Yeah,
a family down there. Oh my God! And he inspired me to do better.
yeah,
And that's what I get out of all you guys, especially you, because you do so much, and I want to do so much. I've been doing this podcast now, I think, for like 5 years now.
okay,
If my math is correct, I think it's been
yeah,
5 years I've been doing this.
yeah.
So, but when I see people like you doing so many different shows, like, wow, she's just got on the road. She's just going. Now, how many shows have you produced over the years?
Oh, over the years, oh
Yeah.
gosh, I don't even know. I mean, I started like going back to the early 2000s. I was producing sketch shows in Toronto. I have no idea. I have no idea, but I've always, even before I did stand up, because I wasn't doing stand up at the time in like, 2003, but um, I've always just sort of had this thing of like, go do the thing. Like, whatever you're thinking about doing, stop talking about it, just
Do
effing
it.
do it.
Right.
Um, and I mean, for all the anxiety and panic that I come with, I also have this amazing, like, oh, you don't think I can do this? Well, I'm gonna go do that then. Yeah, I'm
Right.
I'm very like, I'm like a walking oxymoron. I'm very stubborn. I'm very shy. I'm very,
I'm the same
all the,
way.
yeah. So I've not got a clue, but I'm always doing something because, um, if what I want to see isn't out there, I may as well make it.
Right. And I know you did another show, a morning show with coffee and stuff. I can't remember the name of it. You remember the name?
I do a show first Sunday of the month on KO Comedy Hub Twitch. It's called Comedy Coffee. And so that goes
That's
out
it.
the first
Confident
Sunday of
coffee.
each
That's it.
month.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that. I watch it for a little bit when I can.
Yeah.
I try to watch everybody's stuff because
Yeah.
you all fascinate me in so many different ways. You guys, when I'm on a Zoom with you guys, you all have different ways of doing comedy, and I think it's hilarious. I laugh at all you guys because I think it's funny personally. I really do.
Yeah.
And you guys always inspire me to do better, and I like that. I love you guys for that.
I
And
appreciate that. Thank you.
no, it's true because when I see you, like you've done so many things. I know in the last couple of years I've known you with Zoom and everything. I find you really fascinating. Well, this girl has got it going on, and she's right on to it. I mean, you got to be a go getter. I try to do the best. Again, my personal life always it gets into my way a lot of times because dealing with my dad, and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Well, yeah, I
So
mean, I live with my
I lost
parents,
I
so
lost last summer, all
yeah.
summer last year because of my dad last year. His
Yeah.
hip and everything. I had to take care of him and stuff. But my brothers had to redo his apartment while I took care of him.
Yeah.
The hospital, something rehab and everything. So that's. But because I had planned on going on tour last year, I was going to go on tour last year to do
Oh,
comedy at different places.
yeah.
I've been to Virginia a couple of times.
Nice.
Um, I've been all over,
Yeah.
and I've done comedy. So, and I enjoy doing it. I want to get out there and do more, get my stuff out there. But again, hopefully, maybe I doubt it because my dad has another medical problem called his knee. He needs knee surgery. He had no bone on bone on his knee, and
Yeah.
he's a stubborn old man. I had enough surgery to last me a lifetime. And Dad, you haven't lived your lifetime yet. You're only 78. You got another 20 years to go. you know.
My dad, like I live with my parents, so there's a lot that, you talk about with taking care of the folks and stuff
Yep.
that I can relate to. I'm not their quote unquote caregiver, but I'm
Well,
here to,
I'm the oldest, so thanks for that.
yeah, I'm sort of around them to sort of, mitigate and cook for them and do
Yeah,
do a lot of things. But like life life does
happens.
what life does. And like there's been so many times where I've just boarded a plane or I'm in the green room in a club in another city and
Yep.
I've gotten like it might be cancer note, or I've got, surgery's happening note. And then you
Yep.
just sort of have to shelve it and be like, well, I have to go tell jokes now. Great.
I do
Um,
like that too.
you
Nighttime I'm
know,
okay. During the days
yeah.
it's crazy.
It's a really when you've got all that going on and then you want to go make people laugh, like the audiences, whether there's 500 people or five people,
Right.
they're doing such a service for us to take us
Yeah.
away from the pain that we're dealing with while we help with their pain. And
Right.
it's just like this circular thing, but like the the self, I mean, you're right. I do a lot of things, but I had a moment last night of like, what is my purpose? And you go in these like waves as an
Yep.
entertainer of like, am
Yep.
I doing enough? Does it matter? Like,
I'm the same way, Kelly. I'm
yeah,
the same
yeah,
way. I say the same thing over and over
crazy.
again.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Wow.
just keep doing it because I love doing it. I like to make people happy.
Yeah,
I enjoy, Tommy kind of saved my life in a lot of ways.
yeah,
I've been through a lot of hell in my life,
yeah,
but I find humor no matter where I go.
yeah,
The doctor,
yeah.
my dad, people were like amazed how me and my dad are. He's like, they think, well, you got like Abbott Costello or something. What's going on
Right,
here?
right.
But I get him going, get him worked up. And he out of here. Oh no, you're gonna stay here. You don't like it. I don't like it. I don't care. You don't like it.
Yeah,
It's like reverse psychology. Like, remember when I was a kid, you used to tell me you're gonna do it and you're gonna like this. Now it's my
yeah,
turn to tell you.
yeah,
I find it's like weird. Like you're a kid, you don't want to be around your parents. They were just pain in the asses, and then you're with them, and then they okay, I can be their pain in the ass now too because I'm older now.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
it's funny how
appreciate,
that works.
yeah,
It's
I
funny how that
appreciate,
works. Like, where I go in public, I'm a character no matter where I go, and they
Yeah,
just
yeah,
find me hilarious. So I have a lot of friends all over the place because of the way I am. I go to the pharmacy, they all know who I am at the pharmacy,
yeah,
I know who they all are. So, this is why I love doing comedy because I can get my stuff out there and my feelings out there in a comical way without being angry about it. There's times I have a fit and then a comedy set on my comedy show. Well, I
yeah,
get it, and I'm apparently been more funnier when I'm having a fit than I am when I'm not having a fit.
yeah,
People have told me that you're more funny when you're having a fit, Jerry, than you are when you're not having.
yeah.
You don't hear much of that laughter, Jerry, when you're having a fit. You're just like in a rage. I know because my parents got me that way. So I do a lot of that. I've been mixing that in with some of my comedy because I find that hilarious too. I
Yeah,
can do that. I'm gonna have a fit there on the Zoom because I don't let them know how upset I am, but I'm still gonna be funny.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
who inspired you to do comedy, Kelly? Who was your biggest inspiration comedian as a comedian
Oh
when you grew
gosh.
up?
Um, I've often said like my Mount Rushmore of comedy would include people like Rita Rudner, Wendy Liebman, who through the blessings of technology, I've been able to become acquaintances with Wendy. Um, I also I don't always enjoy his sets, but I do really marvel and admire at Jerry Seinfeld's
Yeah,
work ethic and his writing. I do really admire him a lot, and I do
I
really
do
like
too.
him. Um, there's like a dryness, a silliness of like Monty Python writing for here in Canada, SCTV, going back to the UK, like Faulty Towers, Keeping Up Appearances. Those were all things that were just always around me, thanks to my papa, my grandfather, Arthur, introduced me to. So there's like a British sensibility and a dryness that I appreciate in like Rita Rudner and Wendy Liebman.
Yeah.
Um, I really dig that kind of style and like I guess more quote unquote current folk. Um, uh, although Wendy and Rita are still kicking ass.
Yeah.
Tig Notaro, I really love Tig. There's something about like a staccato, a dryness, absurdity of Conan O'Brien. Um, that's what I really like. Yeah.
How big is the comedy scene up there in Canada where you live?
I mean, this place is uh, uh just a smorgasbord of funny people. I don't know if it's for those of us who have the British ancestry. Um, I don't know what it is about like English Canada specific, but we're a very quick-witted, um, funny, good at a roast or a rant or a quick poke. Um, Indigenous peoples here in Canada have an amazingly funny, darker sense of humor because of all the things that they have been through,
Mhm.
obviously, and
Right.
continue to go through. Um, the French sensibility is a lot more absurdist and playful. I mean, it's just I don't know if it's something in the water up here, but there are so many funny people. I think the downside to it all is that from my observances, there are more opportunities to grow as an artist in the States or in the UK
Right.
than here. It's kind of it's I think to a degree quite true that you've got to become famous outside of Canada to become famous in Canada.
Right.
Um, it's a hard place to be an artist. It's hard, but there's a lot of us here. There's so many funny people here. So
Well, I think where you are, it may be hard, but I think you can find a way to make things happen like they do here in the U.S. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah, you've got to keep
Because
at it. If you
yeah,
want to be an artist here,
exactly.
you've got to be as tough as a hockey player. Like you just got to keep cracking
And you
at it.
gotta keep cracking out. Just keep do
Yeah.
the best you can and work as hard as you can.
Yeah.
No, like Desiree, I love Desiree. She's got
Yeah,
an
me
album
too.
out. I know you guys are real close. She got an album out, and I listened to her album. I thought it
Yeah.
was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any? Are you making an album? Do you have an album
I have
coming
two.
out? You have two. And what
I
are
have
they?
two albums, Jerry.
Well, you gotta let me know what they are so I can listen to them.
So the albums that I've got, the first one that came out, Desiree and I recorded it together on a label called Howl and Roar, which is based here in Canada. So my first one is called Sugar and Spice and Smirnoff Ice, and my second is called Lady Comic. I was invited by Comedy Dynamics to make an album with them, which was really awesome. And
Yes, send it to me so I can,
all the
yes,
links
so I
to
can
my
listen to it.
albums and stuff can
Yes, send it to
be,
me so I can listen to it and share it with my friends because
yeah.
you and Desiree together are hilarious. I mean, you're
Oh,
both
thank
hilarious
you.
as far as I'm concerned. You really are.
Thank
And I
you.
admire both of you guys so much what you do. I love when see you guys do.
Yeah.
Always look forward to doing your shows because
Okay.
it's a wonderful place to be. And you are all funny and you're hilarious. And I die laughing at you guys. Desiree's hilarious. I just love her in
Yeah.
pieces.
She is.
And I've heard her stuff. It's just,
Yeah.
oh my God, thank you. So please send me your stuff so I can listen to it.
Yeah, I was just
Now,
going to say to folks, my website is kellysandnickos.com, and then you
okay.
can get
Yeah.
links to
Send it
stuff.
out. So I get it out there so people can listen to it, subscribe,
Yeah.
make you more
Yeah.
famous here in the US. Maybe get you on the Tonight Show here, or maybe get Jimmy Kimmel in California. I don't know. One of them shows
Yeah.
get you on. You and Desiree both, you know. Thank you, Jerry. What that making this happen for us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's very funny. And I try to
Yes,
be,
I always look forward to her sets every time she's done. I always do. It's
what
hilarious.
about me, Jerry? Do you look
I
forward
said
to
you
me?
too. I said you as well. I love both you guys. You both are hilarious. I love you both. Right there, going to shows. I will always look forward to going on your show. When you're not on, I get disappointed a little bit. All
Yeah.
right, well, I understand that, but I still like to be on their show because I love it. And then I
Yeah.
try to get on your 3 o'clock show because I think that's another great thing you're doing.
I
And
love
I
doing
see so
that.
many different
Yeah.
comedians. You know, here's the best thing about doing Zoom. You meet so many different artists all over the states, all over the world.
Yes.
Like Kim Nash, I love Kim Nash. I think he's hilarious. I
Yeah.
did your
Kim's
show on
great.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And I think, and I've done a couple of his shows. I think he likes to
Yeah.
make fun of me. See, the only thing I like about people making fun of me, I take it in, I like it. It's okay. I enjoy it, but I do it back, you know. So
Yeah.
I find it hilarious. I don't take things personally. I don't. I really don't. I love you guys. It's like a roast. You know, they used to
Yeah.
roast me, and I used to like to roast you back. And it's a good time. I love doing these things. I love being on your show. You do. I try to get on all your shows, Kelly. I really do.
You do.
I
I
find
can
you
tell
fascinating.
friends. Yeah.
I find you fascinating. And you're funny. Oh my God, you're hilarious.
Oh,
And
thank you,
you and
Jerry.
Desiree together like a team. I like to see both of you perform in person together because I think that'd be a great thing to do. Like,
People should
like
book
me,
us. People should book us.
Like me, Ed Smythe. We're like
Yeah.
a dynamic duo. We do
Yeah.
comedy together. You know,
I did a show with Ed Smythe at a bar in Harlem, New York,
really.
maybe 6 months ago or
I
something.
did not know that. I'm gonna kill Ed for that.
Um, it was the wildest experience. It was a bar about the size of my Kleenex box. Like it was super tiny. And um Ed went up first and bless him for being the bullet on that. That was crazy. Like
He is
there were
hilarious. I
people
love it.
sitting around the bar. We were basically where the bartender was while she was serving drinks and we were telling jokes. It was nuts.
he's he's a him and I together. We like sometimes we travel together. We ride together to go to places,
Yeah.
and I just go off. He just loves my start bitching about things.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
It's
great.
like being like the odd couple, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the odd
No,
couple.
totally.
As a matter of fact, Ed and I are working together to do a skit at the Columbia County Town Fair, where I live in
Oh, great.
town of New
Yeah.
York, and we're doing Casey at the Bat. Remember Casey at the Bat years ago? So we're doing
Yeah.
that skit at the fair, at the talent show this year. Him and
Okay.
I. I play Casey. He does the introductions and all that, and then just get the crowds involved. Ed is a very artistic person. He's a great artist. I love what he does.
Awesome.
I love Wally. I love this. David went to Wally. Wally's my favorite. Always has.
Yeah.
We did the morning show together at the cafe together. We've done so many different shows together. He's
That's
a great
awesome.
friend. And I love this guy to pieces. I really do. He's very talented, and
Yeah.
he's really. We talk a lot, and
Yeah.
you know he's
That's
been
cool.
doing it for a long time, on and off. But I love his style of comedy. I think he's like Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, but the funnier way of Mr. Rogers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
with the puppets and everything, you know.
No,
I think he's hilarious with that. He
yeah.
makes me crack me up all the time.
That's great.
And I get
Yeah.
him going some of my stuff too. He cracks up some of my stuff. We just did this. We just did the play at the dispensary on Wednesday. Him and I, and
Okay.
and we all got high. It was fun. He had a good time. And but you know, like I said, you're always someone special comedian in your life that you have a bond with, a friendship, a real good friendship, and comedy wise, and it works really well. Like you do it together as a show, and you know, and
Yeah.
that's between like you and Desiree, like me and Ed Smythe, you know.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting if it was Ed and I and you and Desiree got together, do a show,
That would be a
like some
time.
kind of show.
That
You
would
know,
be a
I think that
time.
would be a great thing.
Yeah.
I think something I
That
have
would
to
be good.
work on doing because I think that would be great to have both you guys, all four of us together, and doing a show. I think that would be hilarious.
That would
I
be
really
good.
would.
Yeah.
It would be
Yeah.
interesting. It'd be fun. I thought I was picturing just thinking about it just now as we're talking. It's like,
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a really I should
It
work
could
on
be
that.
a
I'm
friend
going to see about
show.
working
You
on
could
that.
do a friend show. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like a French show, it would be
Yeah.
hilarious, you know, and
That could be,
it would be great. I think
yeah.
it'd be a great time. I'd have a blast. I know that right now
I
is
think
because working with
Desiree
you
would be
guys.
down. Yeah. That would, yeah.
With you guys, I tell you, I enjoy you. You guys, out of all the people I've worked with, known with
Oh.
you two stand out the most. It's like Ed Smith stands out the most.
Yeah,
You guys really do.
her and I became a lot closer because of the pandemic and because of lockdown.
Yeah,
'Cause, like, for those watching this who don't know, Desiree uses a wheelchair, and
right.
Toronto comedy clubs are mostly up and downstairs. Um, and
Yeah, she takes that
so
in her set. And
I didn't see her a lot when I started, but every time I did see her, I was like, this woman's hilarious. Why isn't
yeah,
she on more shows? Obviously, because of physicality. So doing stuff virtually has gotten me an opportunity to get to know her in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise. So it's been
right.
amazing because she's
She's
just so whip smart funny.
yeah, she is. Oh,
She's so
I
good.
adore her so much. I love her so much.
Yeah.
I love her jokes. She does really good stuff with her jokes, and I always enjoy listening
Yeah.
to both of
Yeah.
you. Just to make that clear, both of you when you do your sets, okay? Make that clear, Kelly. I enjoy both you and Desiree because you both are
Good.
amazingly funny, okay? Just on the record, so we're on the record with that. Well, Jerry didn't say anything about me. He's up about Desiree. He didn't about me. I love you both of pieces, okay? You guys, I think I always enjoy being on your shows. I think you're funny, you're amazing, and what you do
Thank
so much.
you.
And I mean, you bring so much talent to people, and a lot of love too. And that's the best thing about comedy. You bring a lot of love and entertainment to that, you know. And me and Ed became friends way before the pandemic. We've been friends for over 10 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we met at a bar called Lark Tavern, and we met
Okay.
there, and then we hung out, and we just got to know each other. We just
Yeah.
clicked. For some reason, you know, like you and Desiree, you know, when you get you special bond with somebody, you click just like that, and you know that's your friendship for life. And that's what me and you and Kelly. That's for you
Yeah.
and Desiree and me. So that's what I see, you know, it's like a partnership, you know, and
Yeah.
that's
No,
good.
she's
I
awesome.
like that, and you know, and the thing is, like the young comics, they're doing everything, and I get that. And some are kind of like, some are really good, and I think for comedy wise, if you start young, I think you may burn out when you're in your 30s. I think comedians start really young, like
Possible.
16, 17 years old, and then by the time they get in their 30s, they like, I don't understand why they burned out because you should have more stories to tell as you're growing older. There's always
It
stories
can
to
get
tell.
exhausting doing this though.
I know.
This
Do you ever
this
get that's my next question to you? Do you ever get tired of telling the same jokes all the time?
um no, I'm not at that point yet.
Yeah,
Um, but I think because I'm trying to find new ways of doing the bit.
that's
Um,
what I do.
And I really do like having a weekly show on Twitch really forces me because we do have a regular audience base that really pushes me to freshen it up each week so that my audience can't, mouth the joke back to me, so to speak. Um, but I I just try to build a set depending on what the room I'm in. Um, That's going to be a little something fresh, a little something treasured, kind of sandwich it all together. So Yeah, I think if I ever got to a point where it was like, I can't tell these jokes again, I need to do something else. And I mean, I do other things like I make documentaries. I work in post production and TV, so I'm always like I podcast as well, and I'm always trying to find ways of being just a conduit for story, whether it's stand up, movies, whatever. So, um, yeah, if I really kind of got to a point where I was like, I can't tell my jokes anymore, I will stop telling jokes.
I don't
You
think
have
you
my
have that
guarantee,
problem.
everybody. I will stop.
I don't think you'll be. I think you'll be great because I think you're gonna go very far. Like you and Desiree both are going to go very far. I can
Yeah.
see you guys on a Tonight Show. I just can see it because you guys are so fascinating and your jokes are so good and you got them right really where you're supposed to be. And everybody enjoys them. They really do. I know I enjoy them. I really do. Like I said, I can listen to Desiree's album all day long. It's so damn funny, hilarious, and the way she does it, I think
Yeah.
she's gonna do great too. She really is. I
Yeah.
have a faith in both of you guys. I really do because I tell you what, you guys are like one of the, you especially, and you one of the hardest working artists I've ever known to do
Oh,
comedy. Between doing no, because you do a lot of show, you produce a lot of shows. That's a lot of work, a lot of hard
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And you know what
It
I'm
is.
saying that I admire that in somebody, and that's why I say you. I always wanted to get. I've been wanting to get out for quite a while. Because your schedule been so busy and everything. But mine has been
Yeah.
too. So it's been so
Yeah.
hard to get you on. And I finally get the opportunity because this is the honor for me. This is really, and
Oh,
even having
gosh.
Desiree on it
Serious?
2 weeks ago. It is. It is. I'm serious when I say this. And even had Desiree on, it was an honor to have her on because
Yeah.
I felt high on top because you guys really, you're like one of the two that really inspire me. There are other comedians that inspire me, like older that I grew up watching,
Yeah.
but with
Yeah.
today's comedy, you guys inspire me a lot. You really, and you inspire me to do more, and I thank you for that. I
Oh,
really do.
my pleasure. I
Bro,
mean,
you do.
gosh.
I find you fast at it. Love being on your guys' shows. And Desiree, you guys are a match made in heaven. I just think you two together. I'm dead serious when I say this because I can see things. When I watch you guys, I'm doing my stuff. I can tell who can be with who to do comedy with, who make a great partner to do
Yeah.
comedy with. Because I was
Well,
like, remember Dean
yeah.
Martin, Jerry Lewis? Remember them two? They
Yeah.
were. I watch a lot of
We're good
that,
comedy. I love that
and
stuff, like
you
Bob
guys are like
Hope and Bing Crosby, like the road pictures from back
yeah,
in the day.
they're dead.
Love.
Anyway,
No, but they were so good
yeah, they
together.
were. Oh yeah.
They were
I
so good together.
you know what was so good
Yeah.
together? They were married, Gracie Allen and George Burns.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were awesome. I watched
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah.
I got like CDs of all these people that I
Yeah.
can watch over and over again on my
Yeah.
VCR. You
No,
know,
when you get people together that just like can fit and play off of each other and listen to each other well and like hanging out with Des has just, I mean, prior to meeting Des, I did know some people who used a wheelchair or a mobility
yeah,
device, but um but she made one post at some point in during the early days of the pandemic that was like after doing a set online, she was able to use the washroom, and then she went to the toilet, she came back to do her set, and it was a very um I don't know how she was intending that note to be perceived, that status on Facebook, but I looked at it and it was another one of those like light bulb moments of like the fact that this is a new experience for her of telling a joke, going to the toilet, and then coming back to hear the rest of the show, that's not right. And
right.
so I made it, that was my little domino tipping point of like, when I'm able to do shows in person, you're going to have to be able to roll in or walk in, and
Right,
you're going to have to be able to pee. And if not, if the washroom is not accessible, make the show maybe 70 minutes max. So you're not
right.
keeping people too long.
I think
So, yeah.
all clubs should have a handicap accessibility for it because there's a lot of comedians
Oh
out
my
there that
gosh.
are handicapped, whether in wheelchairs or whatever. And I think that
Yeah,
everybody
I
should
agree.
have, and I do too. I think they should
Yeah,
have. If you want someone to perform and do jokes and have fun and bring laughter, it should be handicap accessible for everybody, just in
it
case.
should. Because we all, I mean, it's true. We all have the ability at any point in our lives to not be able to use our legs to walk. Like,
Exactly.
that's the thing,
And
right?
My heart goes
So
up to her every day. And I feel bad
yeah,
if she couldn't. And it's
yeah,
not right. It is not right. I think they should
uh,
have clubs that
yeah,
you be able to go in there and handicap wheelchairs or whatever, so that you can do what you want to do. Even for
yeah,
people that want to go there and see a show, it should be handicap accessible for even customers to come in there to watch the show.
for sure. And
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's just it's just not the norm in Toronto. So
I
I
mean, if they're
hope,
making bathrooms for like men, women, and others, they should damn well have a handicap accessory for bathroom and entrance to get in and out of a building.
yeah, and it's just, I
That really
mean,
pisses me off, just to tell you
yeah,
that.
it takes sort of changing the culture of how buildings are structured is that's going to take a bit of time, but hopefully, I mean, Toronto as a city, it's constantly rebuilding. It's like living within a game of Tetris. It
Yeah,
truly is.
yeah. I've
Um,
been to Canada, by the way. It's a beautiful place. I
it's
loved
a
it out
beautiful
there.
place, and each city is so vastly different, but
It is.
hopefully something about, the new buildings and designs going here, that there will be a little bit more, accessibility, a lot more accessibility. I mean, I get it. People have their favorite venues here that are
Right,
in the basement of some really dank little clubs. And that's your favorite spot, and that's your favorite place to do a joke, and that's great. But also
right,
understand that that is a privilege that not everybody gets to have, to be in the basement
right.
of a dank club.
Exactly. You're right.
But everybody's entitled to a night out and laughter.
Absolutely. I 100%. I agree with you 100%. Like I said,
Yeah.
all these establishments should have a place for handicapped people as well. Because to me, that's discrimination, and that really pisses
Yeah.
me off. Eventually I'm going to do a podcast about that, because I don't know if you heard earlier
Yeah.
that I'm going to be doing a regular podcast Monday through Friday
Oh,
in the
wow.
morning. Yeah.
Cool.
It'll be like, my podcast like anything and everything. I'll be talking about sports, politics, whatever.
Yeah.
And people can join in and put their comments in there, or if they want to join me live, they can do that as
Yeah.
well to get the opportunity to speak the vent out and talk about what's going on and how
Yeah.
they feel. But
Yeah.
I think everybody's entitled to their word, because this world's gone to hell in the handbag. It's not the world, the people in the world is making this world go to hell in the handbag. We have so many problems here, and we just found out we're in a $40 trillion deficit.
Oof.
$40 trillion between this idiot president we have now and Joe Biden. So, hello, thank you, Sleepy Joe and Tricky Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, I,
It's hard. It's hard. It's
it
hard
is.
to sometimes figure out, is the funny needed today? But I
It
think
is.
it is, because, like,
It is.
you're right. No
Yes, it
matter
is.
who you support politically, you're going to find fault with whoever's in charge. The people
Oh,
who say they're going to
absolutely.
do things aren't going to always do the things they say they do. Um, and yeah, it's very few countries have, I think, leaders that actually, I mean, probably an exception might be the woman who is in charge of New Zealand, Jacinda. I can't think of her last name right now, but she seemed to be one example of someone who said the thing and then did the thing. We don't have a lot of that.
No.
And
We need more of that. We really need
yeah,
more of that.
we definitely do. Yeah,
I mean, if we get somebody that says they're going to do it, they say it and they do it, you got my vote. You know what I'm saying? But if
yeah,
you
for
say you're going to
sure.
do it and you don't do it, that really irritates the hell out of me. It's like, why do
Yeah,
we vote for you? It's
yeah,
like one life and the other one swears to it. That's my motto. One life and the other one swears to it. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't care. They all lie and the other one swears to it. So it
yeah.
makes it hard
And
to
it
elect
makes it
somebody who
hard.
thinks,
Yeah, it makes it hard for the politicians who are being true to their word to rise above the crop,
yeah,
because everything now is so geared to, we can coordinate what we want to see in our social media feeds, and the whole fact that it's like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. So, like, I think, our job as comics and those who do stand up and perform, it may seem frivolous to some people, but I think just the ability to lighten your load and relax your shoulders a bit
right.
is really necessary. It's really
Yeah,
necessary.
it is. Like
Because it's
I've
really
been doing a
tough.
lot of nursing home gigs lately. Because they need laughter.
Yeah.
And they're stuck in a place all day long where they have issues, and I try to bring laughter to them. Even
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
worked in a
for
convenience
sure.
store for like 5 years, I had people come up to me and go, Jerry, Thank you for making my day. What? I would say something funnier, out of the
Yeah.
ordinary. I mean, between me and my boss, I'd argue with my boss about something stupid, that'd be funny as hell.
Yeah.
And Jerry, you were funny. I love you. Thank you for making my day. Well, you're welcome. And when I hear people say that to me, that makes me happy. It brings joy
Yeah.
to my life. It really does because I want to make other people happy.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah. Me
that's
too.
that's
Yeah.
what we do. What we
Happiness
do to
is
make
good.
other people
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
We
No,
talk
it's
about
a good
our
thing.
pain, how we grew up, and everything. And that's what I love about doing comedy because we can do that, and people can love it or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like now they're trying someplace trying to say you can't say things a certain way. Okay, like what? Like where you can't say certain things because you might offend people. Here's my thought on that, Kelly. I don't know about you, but my thought is you're going to a comedy club, expect anything and everything. If you don't like what you're going to go into, do not go. Stay home, watch like eat ice cream, bonbons, whatever you guys do on a Saturday night, and don't
Right.
go because you're going to feel offended. You're going to be, it's not going to work out so well.
Yeah. I understand that. I understand that. And then I also, to go back to what I said earlier, I think some people who haven't experienced or lived with X, Y, or Z,
Right.
I don't always appreciate, an accent that is not your accent. I find very dicey.
Oh
There
yeah.
are certain
Yeah.
things that I'm like, um, we're coming upon a time of, remembering the 25th anniversary of 9/11.
Yep.
And while on one hand, yes, joking about stuff can make it more palatable and
Yep.
relatable and less
Right.
stressful. There are some times when I hear those jokes that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to use the restroom. And I just have to leave the room. I don't have to find it funny.
Right.
But yeah, it's a weird dance. I can understand why people get offended at some things. I can understand your perspective,
Right.
and you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I feel the same way, Kelly. I don't like. I mean,
yeah,
some stories they talk about okay, but again, there's certain stories I hear about 9/11. I don't care. I just cringe. I just can't deal with it. It
I
breaks my
can't deal
heart.
with it at all. I
The
mean,
same with
unless
school.
you're
The same with
approaching
school
it,
shootings. With kids, school shootings. That really bothers me too.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah,
And some people do funny thing. I don't find anything about that funny. It's disgusting. It breaks my heart. You go to innocent kids get killed for no reason. It just really bothers me, and I can't. There's two
yeah,
things in life I can't really deal with. And I agree with you on that, Kelly.
yeah.
It's nine
Just
eleven and
mm,
and shootings. That hits me hard. Yeah,
yeah, just for folks to have a bit of context, my
exactly.
experience with the
The
nine
thing is
eleven.
common sense. We're having the
Yeah.
common sense. We warn common sense. Nobody uses common sense anymore. Do you agree with me on that?
I don't know if nobody does, but it seems like those who don't have the stronger voices. But I don't think nobody has comedy. I don't think no one does. I think there's still if it's there. But just to go back quickly to the 9/11 comment, just for folks know where I'm coming from, I made
Mhm.
a documentary about the 9/11 first responders and their struggle to get access to healthcare and to sort of live as best they can with all these illnesses that they, inhaled from all the chemicals when the towers fell. So my connection to the community, it gets a little closer to the bone for me. So I just want to explain that to people. I'm not just
Right.
someone who was like, oh,
No.
I lived through
Thank
that
you
and
for
I
sharing
have
that. Thank you for
thoughts.
sharing that.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Really.
It's just a little closer to the bone. So, um, but like, if you've got a birthday on that date, sure, you've got a perspective that
Yep.
can make it's still a day where I know three people whose birthday is that date. Um,
Wow.
if you come from it, I think any date that is a birthday and a major life event marker, or you're, a different ethnicity to me, your life probably changed in a way I can't even imagine post 9/11. You I'm just saying there's nuances and ways to approach things that are a little touchy if your perspective is different to mine as a white woman, right? So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
So
Anyway,
we're now it's what 9/11, which is coming up 25th
yeah,
anniversary of 9/11.
yeah.
Do you remember the day it happened? Where were you in the day it happened?
1,000%. I mean, I think short of what I was wearing, I remember I was working at a TV station in Toronto. and it was our table read day. It was a show called Royal Canadian Air Farce, which is no longer on the air, but it was a satirical political weekly show that was on CBC radio and then CBC television. Tuesday was, as I say, our table read day, so I got in early to prep the scripts. I turned on my Yahoo News, and I remember a little icon at the bottom of my page where I checked my email that had a little tower, and it said that a plane had hit a tower in New York. And just the way it was phrased, I thought someone had hit like the little like beacon light at the top,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh well, and I go about my day. And then one of the producers of the show, the and one of the stars of the show, um, the man who told me from an earlier story I told today about how when you fail at a set, you go back and you do it again the next day. His name is Don Ferguson. Don came running in and he said, "Have you seen what's happening in New York?" And I said, "No." And we went into the writer's room because at the time we were the only two people in the office. And as we turned on the TV to NBC, whatever channel we were watching, NBC or CBC, the network we worked at, we were, as many people who saw this at the time, as we turned on the TV, the second plane flew into the building, and we just looked at each other and went, "What? Well, what?" And it was just like, uh, the building, the CBC building itself is still downtown Toronto at Front and John, and the CN Tower is right across the street. And I honestly remember looking up through the window and going, okay, if this is World War III, because we didn't know what was happening,
Right.
I remember looking up going, if a plane hits that, which way is it going to fall? And my brain was doing this math that was like, I don't I don't know what's happening. And then it was just I've got family who live in New York, so it was calling everyone in the Bronx. Like it was just like an APB. It was um yeah, it was one of those things yeah, my
My experience
what
was
was your
when
experience? Yeah.
my experience was I was in the car when my wife at the time and my kids were heading over to my in-laws to visit. It was in the
Yeah, yeah,
morning, and I went to stop, got gas in my car.
yeah,
And as soon as I got back, I saw a plane go by earlier. Didn't think nothing of it, you know. And so I got in my car, getting gas, and I left her on the radio about a plane flying in one of the twin towers. Like, what the hell? I'm thinking a plane had a malfunction somehow with the plane, and it's a twin tower.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I
yeah,
went to my in-laws, and they turn the channel, turn the channel. When the plane flew in the tree, said, what? We turned it in, watched it, and as we watching it, we saw a second plane going in, flying right into the towers. I was like, oh my God, this is not an accident.
yeah,
This is a terrorist attack. Oh, we're
yeah,
being attacked. And then, not on top of that, you hear about the Pentagon getting hit. And then moments later, one of the planes fell down in Pennsylvania, landed in
yeah,
Pennsylvania, so it was
yeah.
headed to Washington, D.C. And they kept showing the clip over and over again with a plane flying into the train. Said, "Oh my God, oh my God!" And
It's
we
yeah.
watched for a long time. I watched the whole thing. I saw the first tower
Me
going
too.
down. Oh my God! And I had people that worked in that thing there. Thank God I called. I have relatives down there too, and I called. I couldn't get through because everything was all tied up.
Yeah,
And I saw it go down. Oh my God, this is not good at all. Oh, I started crying. I felt so bad. All the people that got killed in them buildings. And then moments later, the second tower goes down.
yeah,
Oh my, I could that
yeah,
is a nightmare I'll always remember the rest of my life, seeing that
yeah.
happen. And I
And
worked at Walmart at the time. I worked at Walmart. I had to go in that afternoon to go to
okay.
work. And I worked electronics. Now, generally on the TV, they have to, it was all Walmart stuff they're trying to sell on TV, advertise. I was debating on going to work that day because of how I felt. And I wanted to go down to New York City to see if my relatives were okay. I could get a hold of them. I was going to ride right down to New York City, but then everything was closed up and I could get down there.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it took
I
me.
decided to go to work
Yeah.
and went to work. And they had all the news on there with the
Yeah.
space in there with the pen. I just like, And I was so upset about that. Two things upset me that day, Kelly. Why did I go to work that day? I just should have stayed home with my family. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
pissed me. I
You're
was
kind
so
of on
mad at myself for that.
autopilot. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was I still plays my mind. And the second that upset me the most was why are people shopping? We just had we're under 10. People still shopping. Why are they shopping? That's the two things out of the whole thing I got that bothered me the most. I should have stayed home with my family.
Yeah.
You know. And then the second thing is why are people shopping? Why is people there? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that really bothered me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I heard the tributes that night. Alan Jackson had a song made a 9/11 song, and that was very touching. That made me cry. And
Mhm.
I said, I made me reflect on a lot of things. I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do things differently now from now on. So like something like that, I'm not going to work. I'm going to stay with my family. They're tragic. I'm going to stay at home. And it was
Yeah.
experience I never thought I would experience in my life, and I did. And it was heartbreaking. I couldn't get to my family. I was so upset about that. And it was
Yeah.
a nerve. And there's people, why are people still going? It's just, I don't understand something bad really, I mean, terribly happened like this. And people are still going to work or going shopping. Why? Why?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm playing in my head over and over again for the rest of my life.
Yeah. It was, yeah, those of us who lived through it,
Like, don't anybody care what happened to them? Okay, so you don't know nobody living down there working it, but they're people, they're human beings. They not only
yeah.
lost life in the buildings, but the planes, all the planes that crashed, they
Well,
all
the
died.
yeah. Yeah, like the technology at the time in 2001 was not where it is today.
No, no,
Um,
no.
and but yeah, yeah, it was just yeah, you don't there's certain things, we've seen with our generation that have been like, younger folks today will poke fun at. But
Yeah, I don't care for
that
that.
was like, yeah, that was a monumental thing. And for people who may not realize it,
Right.
um, people who were down there continue to get sick from those
Yeah,
toxins.
they still
Women
are.
who were women who were pregnant, there was a high school nearby. Their air vents didn't get properly cleaned until months after those kids went back to school.
Yep.
People who are pregnant, those babies are now getting 9/11 related illnesses. Like this thing, like continues in a different way to keep going and going for some people because they're just so sick. There is a park, if folks are able to get to it in Nisconeset, in New York on Long Island, the 9/11 Responders Remembered Park. And on there, anybody who's died of a 9/11 related illness, their names are carved into a wall. And it is a very humbling place to go by and go see it.
Oh, yeah.
And that wall, since we started filming in 2016, has grown so much.
I've seen it.
Um, but it's a very humbling place to go because,
It is. You're right. No, it is.
those are people who volunteered or did, the fire or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever
Oh, yeah.
their connection was. You realize the scope of what that loss, the people in the planes, the people who are working, the people who are just wandering by, like just the enormity of it, just continues to ripple, just
Yeah.
continues to ripple.
Oh, yeah. Well, like,
Very sad.
no, it is very sad, and
Yeah.
it breaks my heart every when it comes on. It just breaks my heart. And another thing that really gets me, like when the pandemic came on, everybody knew we couldn't go nowhere. We couldn't go to work, couldn't do anything like that. And I'm like, okay, so people are like, oh my God, we're going to die, we're going to die. And then it reflected on 9/11. I said, well, geez, being 9/11, you guys all went to work still, didn't care what was going on. Why are you caring now? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's just, I just think, I don't know. Maybe it's just me how see things. I don't know. Maybe it's just my problem. That's how I think people are just weird. And like,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, I said, I even blame myself for going to work. I should never went to work that day. I should have called out.
But you
But
can't
I
change
won.
it, right? What
But that,
happened happened, right?
yeah.
And
But the thing was, like, I mean, I reflect on it now, and I was like,
yeah,
well, maybe I went to try to make a difference, to try to help. Because that's how I see myself as a comedian, to help people with their,
yeah,
and making jokes, and they're trying to make jokes about stupid other things to get their mind off 9/11. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I went to work that day. That's what
Okay.
plays in my mind.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
even though that I wasn't a comedian, I was still working in retail and whatnot, I still find my life humorous, try to humor my life with other people to get that off their mind. So, you
Yeah.
know, it
Which
was
is a
a,
good thing. Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
it is, it is,
Humor is necessary and
it is,
needed,
it still is, it
and
still is.
the world continues to go through such turmoil, and
Yep.
yeah, you still need to keep laughing, and terrible things will keep happening, and
Oh,
you
I know.
still have
Oh
to
boy,
keep
do I know that.
laughing.
And that's why I learned
Mm.
about that. Like, if anything changed me out of these two situations, is like to be a better person. I try to be a better person every day.
Yeah.
And another thing you do, you try to live your life to the fullest. That's the main thing. I always say,
Yeah.
you
Because we
hear
don't
this
know how
finish
much
in my
time we
second,
get, right? We
right?
just
And you
don't
hear me
know.
after say, this is what I always say after my show. You hear about this shortly. What I
Yeah.
say to people in life. But it's like I said, it's changed my life a lot, and I'm
Yeah.
more I'm more cautious about things, and curious about things, and try to be, the best person as I version of myself as I can be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because we all want to leave this world a better place, as a better person. Yes, laughter is
For
needed
sure.
in this world, especially this time of
Yeah.
our need. We really truly need laughter, and the way I do laughter, and my set I do my relationships and myself.
Yeah.
That I find that funny. So I figured I don't do politics and jokes. I don't do any of that other crap because that's their style. My style is
Mm.
because talk about me, about my life, and how funny it is that you can live that life too. That could be you and make it more sensible, and and whatnot. And just because that's how I find humor and joke. And I've learned this since
Yeah.
I started watching comedy years ago as a kid. Like Gracie Allen and George Burns, their
Yeah.
life. I mean, so many of the comedians I watched do like that did their stuff, and it was funny. It was really that's a team. Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. I mean, they were funny too, and they did things. And I thought that's what we need. That's the kind of comedy we need. And I find it very okay. We're almost done.
Yeah.
I find it really, really good. I got to go too. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap this up. So my next question, I got two more questions for you.
Yeah.
My next question is, I want to do a comedy album. How do I go about doing a comedy album?
Well, I mean, I think with our access to technology, it would be as easy as, putting something up on YouTube or releasing
Okay.
it.
Well, I do.
There are ways,
I have shows. I got my podcast. I do
yeah,
I record my set, and I do put it on a YouTube channel.
yeah. I mean, I've had a few friends release stuff on their own, and there's ways to figure out how to upload it onto
Give me an
Spotify
example.
through DistroKid and all that. I had a label do that for me. So you can approach a label like Comedy Dynamics or Howl and Roar or whoever
How do
is
I go about
making.
how do I go about that, Kelly?
Well, I mean, you just go to the website, right? And
Okay.
you contact them, and you sort of
Okay.
pitch yourself to them. But there's so many ways to do stuff yourself. Like there's
Yeah.
so many ways that you
Well, I do
may
everything on my
have.
phone. I do everything on my phone because I find it
Yeah,
easier to do on my phone.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Okay. All right.
we just have such an ease to access to technology. It may take a little bit more elbow grease, but you may result in getting more of the cut of the proceeds because you do
Okay.
it all yourself. So
Well, thank you for the information. I appreciate that. I really
yeah,
do. So anyway, I want to thank you, Kelly, for being on my
yeah,
podcast today. Hope you had a great time today.
you did.
I love you guys. I'll be seeing you on your show pretty soon. Please
Indeed.
tell everybody how to find your stuff, or where they can find you.
Absolutely. So first off, I have a website. It's kellizemnickis.com. My last name is spelled, if you're an American, Zemnickis. If you're British or Canadian, Zemnickis. And then I'm on YouTube under Kelly Zemnickis, Facebook Kelly Zemnickis, and Instagram. My handle is the Latvian Foodie. So you can find me there. But
Check,
go to my
check
website,
that out, guys. Check them all out.
kellysandnicholas.com. Yeah,
Also, when you do me one favor, send me your two albums so I can
I
share it with
will.
I'll listen to it and I can share it. Because I did Desiree. Everybody loves Desiree. Everybody loves. I want to get you out there too.
Indeed.
So,
Yeah.
but thank
Oh,
you for
this
your
was
thing. I
great.
really
Thank you,
appreciate
Jerry.
your time and thank you for doing it on Zoom. Sorry we couldn't do it on Facebook
All
Live,
good.
but hey, thank you for
Yeah.
saving my ass.
You're welcome.
I love you. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Give it Kelly. Give it up for her. Yay!
Yay! Yay
All
me!
right, Kelly, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all so much. Remember, everybody, as I always say at the end of my podcast, don't worry about yesterday. It was yesterday. Worry about today, the moment you're in now, the second you're
Exactly.
in. And
Yeah.
don't worry about tomorrow because we are not promised tomorrow. But but if you haven't seen tomorrow, make it the best day of your life. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I love you all. See you all again soon. I'll be doing my second podcast later on this afternoon. I love you all. Have a great day. Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.
Love you, girl. Take care.